Then beautiful, both Deborahs are here. So we have our usual pillow, a folded blanket or towel or anything that works for you and your body. So we're gonna get that and then just come to our mats here, nice and slow. I'm a little sore today, so I'm really looking forward to that deep stretching tonight. So let's come into our cross-legged seat. Remember, you don't have to be in a cross-legged seat if that is really uncomfortable. You can always come and sit on your heels with your pillow in between the heels. So making this your practice as always. Once you settle in a position that works for you, see if you can have the pillow or whatever you're sitting on mainly towards the back of the butt. So the fleshy part of your butt is being pushed back onto your cushion. And you can feel the bones kind of on the pillow. We will let the hands come down to the knees. Maybe gentle bend in your elbows. Relax those shoulders down. Start closing your eyes here. Tuning in with your breath. We've been talking about the directional breathing, so I invite you to come back to that, directing your inhale down and into your belly, and your exhale all the way back up and out. Maybe gently start leaning your upper body back. Just staying here for a couple of moments in silence, checking in with your intention for your practice today. Whatever brings you to the mat and the yoga community, the Elan community is there for you. And then from here, start drawing big circles with your upper body. Really going as big and expansive as you can. It's okay if knees or hips lift up a little bit. And then start going the other way around. And then come back to center. Bring your hands to your sides. And then bring your right arm up over your head, reaching over to the left. So moving in there slowly. Maybe walk that left hand a little bit closer in towards your body. So your left elbow might be pushing into your side. So we don't want that left arm all the way out here. We want it nicely tucked in. Maybe letting your gaze go up towards your right hand. And then bring that right hand to your left ear. Bring your head back up. And then gently start pulling your head over to the right. So you're trying to bring that right ear towards your right shoulder. Not actually touching it, just moving into that direction. And then gently walk those left fingertips out to the left, intensifying the stretch. And then with your next inhale, lift your left arm halfway up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Let that head go. Let that right hand come down to the ground. Bring that right hand in slightly. Maybe your right arm is already touching your right side. And then with your inhale, lift your left arm up towards the sky and then over your head to the right. This time definitely maybe feeling the elbow pushing into your hip or your side. Maybe letting your gaze go up towards your left hand. And then with your exhale, make your way back up. Bring that left hand towards your right ear. And gently start pulling your head over to the left. This is a nice gentle movement. And then walk those right fingertips out to the right. And then with your next inhale, lift that right arm halfway up. Exhale back down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. Gently release your left hand. Bring your hands to heart center into prayer. Thumbs on your sternum. Let your head drop down towards your fingers, chest to your chin. And then gently lift your head up again. And we'll move into a few rounds of alternate nostril breathing. I think most of us know the hand mudras at this point, but just to make sure, left hand is coming into chin mudra with your and then thumb and index finger come together. Right hand is coming into Vishnu mudra, bringing them nicely down towards the root of the thumb. And then those ones here push out nicely. You can use your right knee even to push them out. And then this fits perfectly underneath the nose. I'm gonna make my way back to my pillow. And then little reminder, your inhale is nice and rapid, so kind of like really quickly in as much air as you can. Then we're holding for about 18, and then the exhale is nice and slow for a count of 8. As usual, I'll be doing the counting, you'll be doing the breathing, so you can relax, you can close your eyes. Bring that right hand below your nose, and then bring your right thumb to your right nostril and start inhaling through your left nostril. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5. Close both nostrils, hold your breath. Slowly exhale right. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, on 6, on 7, on 8. Inhale right. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5. Close and retain. And slowly exhale left. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, on 6, on 7, on 8. Inhale left. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5. Close and retain. And slowly exhale right. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, on 6, on 7, on 8. Last round, inhale right. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5. Close and retain. And slowly exhale left. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, on 6, on 7, on 8. Inhale left. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, on 6. Last retention. And slowly exhale right. On 1, on 2, on 3, on 4, on 5, on 6, on 7, on 8. Let that right hand come back down to your right knee. Release your fingers or release the mudra, keeping your eyes closed. Just take a moment here to feel into your body. You'll be feeling some extra calmness or whatever it is that is going on for you today. And then from here, gently blink open your eyes. We will bring our hands over our head with the inhale. And then with your exhale, nicely twist to the right. Bring your left hand to your right knee. Right hand comes behind you. Considering that you're sitting on something, it's very possible that your back hand is on your fingertips instead of on your palm. That's totally okay here. Let your head move over your right shoulder. And then use your inhale to lengthen your upper body. Your exhale to twist deeper. With your next exhale, bring your arms all the way back up over your head. Inhale, reach up high. And with your next exhale, twist to the left. Bring that right hand to your left knee, left hand behind you. Letting your gaze go over your left shoulder to the back. And again, lengthen with your inhale, twist with your exhale. It's raining where you are, like the way it's raining where I am. I hope it is, because there's almost nothing that is nicer to do yoga to than the sound of rain. I'm really hoping you get to hear some of that too. And then with your next exhale, bring your arms back up over your head. Inhale, reach up high. And then with your exhale, let those hands rain down to your sides. We're gonna remove your pillow and make our way onto all fours. Bring those wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, pushing the tops of the feet into the mat. See if you can really tuck that navel in. So you're tugging that navel in towards your lower spine. Eye of the elbow is facing forward, so the biceps is gently turning outwards. And then from here, with your next inhale, step your right foot to the back of the mat, keeping that right foot on the ground. pushing the right heel towards the back of the mat. Make sure that right hip stays nice and level to the ground. And then see if you can really push the ground away from you. And what I mean by that is push those palms into the mat. If you can see it, when I'm down like here, not pushing in, my shoulders are down here. When I push in, my whole body lifts up. So you're really pushing into the mat to push away from the mat. And then with your next inhale, lift your left arm, let that left thumb point up. And this is where it really comes into play what we just did with lifting away from the mat, because now all of that pressure is on that right arm. You really want to make sure you're pushing in. Left foot keeps pushing into the mat, and then slowly lift that right leg off, pointing your toes down towards 6 o'clock. Hip stays level to the ground. And then from here, slowly turn those toes out towards 3 o'clock, opening your hip to the right, and then back down to 6 o'clock. And we will keep moving between the two. If this is really challenging your balance, you can always bring your left hand down and do it this way. So for this one, it's more important to really do it nice and slow and let's call it tactical than it is to challenge yourself to a point where you lose integrity of the poses. So there's no cheating in yoga. It's all about getting stronger. Do 2 more. And then slowly bring that right leg back down. We're going to use our inhale to extend the left leg out to the back. Again, keeping the toes on the ground, heel is pushing back. Make sure that left hip is pushing down towards the ground so it stays level. And then again, really push into those hands, push away from the mat. Use your inhale to lift your right arm out to the front. Exhale to lift that left leg. Toes are pointing down to 6 o'clock. Gaze goes about towards the front of the mat onto the ground. So it's not going down to your left hand, slightly up to the front. And then slowly start turning your left toes out to 9 o'clock, opening that hip up to the left and back down. And then just keep going with your pace. Remember, it's totally okay to bring your right hand down here. It's much more important to do this properly than to have that added challenge. I'm going to be on my hands here just to show that it's totally cool to listen to your body. I'm going to do 2 more times. You can feel a big difference in your hips. It's a pretty good observation to be making. Most of us have one hip that is more tight than the other. Bring that left leg back down. I'm going to bring the knees mat width apart, toes come together, and then come into a nice wide-legged child's pose here. Walk your arms out in front of you. Forehead can come to the mat. If you're looking for more of an active child's pose, you can come up onto your fingertips here, straightening and lifting your elbows. What I call it a cupcake fingers. So you imagine you have a cupcake underneath the palm and you're trying to not damage the frosting. So you're trying to give that cupcake as much space as possible, coming up as high as you can on those fingertips. Your butt keeps pushing towards your heels. And see if you can direct your breathing into your lower back. But yeah, as I was saying, for the hips, like my right hip is always crunching and cracking when I do movements. And the left hip is all smooth and cool. But it's just nice to know where your tight spots are. and where to give a little bit more attention. If you're on your cupcake hands, make your way onto your palms. Let those hands and arms come down. Melt into the mat just for another breath. And then we'll slowly make our way back up, coming onto the hands, but keep the legs the way they are. So your knees are mat width apart, big toes are together. Keep your left hand on the ground. With your inhale, lift your right arm up high towards the sky. And with your exhale, thread the needle here. Bring that right arm down to the mat. Bring your right temple or cheek down. That left hand can stay here, or gently walk out to the front like a little kickstand. Wherever you want to be in this. And then bring that left hand back in if it's walked out. And then use your exhale to push yourself all the way back up, letting that right arm come all the way back up. Gaze follows. And then let that right arm move out to the back. And come down in that big circle all the way back down. Keeping your right hand on the ground. Use your inhale to let your left arm go all the way up. Exhale, thread the needle. Let yourself melt into the ground here. Maybe walking your right arm out in the front. If your right hand is walked out, bring it back in. Pushing into the mat with your exhale, bring that left arm all the way back up. And then let it move out to the back as if you're trying to reach the back of the mat. And then all the way back down. From here, in that somewhat funky position, we will move through our spinal flexions, our cat-cow. With your inhale, let that belly hang down, let your gaze go up. With your exhale, pull your navel in, bring that head as close in between your arms as possible. And then just keep moving here. Going slow and mindful. It's okay if you speed it up a little bit to make it flowy. But just be mindful of your spine. Be aware of what's happening. And then making your way back to center. Bring those knees back in. Tuck your toes under. Walk your hands slightly forward, just about an inch or two in front of your shoulders. And then with your inhale, lift your knees off the ground. And with your exhale, lift those hips up nice and high, coming into your first down dog for the night. Maybe start walking your dog out, pushing one heel down, bending the other knee. And see if you can really bend nice and deeply, bending one knee, then the other. This is also a good time to take a little mental inventory of your body. How's everything feeling? Make sure those shoulders are nice and wide, knuckles are pushing into the mat. And then coming into stillness for the last 3 breaths. Maybe pushing your heels down towards the ground. As usual, remember, it's not about actually touching the ground. It's just about moving into that direction. It's about the feeling you get while this is happening. And then with your next inhale, come up high onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees slightly. And then taking teeny tiny steps, Walk your feet all the way to the front. Bring your feet about hip width apart, toes are pointing forward. See if you can bring that generous bend into your knees to that point where your belly might be even resting on your thighs. Hands are nicely on the ground, soft bend in your elbows, letting your head hang down heavy. And I invite you really, even if you normally have your legs straight in your forward fold, to bend them here. It's a different kind of experience, and that's what we're going for today. With your next inhale, come halfway up. Straighten those legs. Exhale, back down. Inhale, come all the way up. Raise your arms over your head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, raise your arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Step your left foot to the back of the mat, coming into a little high plank here. Maybe bringing your knees down for this first one, or for all of them. Pushing your heels back. Exhale, back to your down dog. Inhale, come up high onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees slightly. And then one more time, taking teeny tiny steps. Make your way all the way to the front. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, raise your arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Bring your right knee down. Release those back toes. Fingertips are on the ground. And then we started practicing this last week, kind of squeezing your thighs together, not to come up all the way, but just to lift your fingers slightly off the mat. And it's okay if they don't lift off the mat, you're just kind of taking off some of the pressure. That's all this is about. So you're creating strength in your legs by squeezing your thighs to the midline or gently pushing that left hip back. And then use this strength to pull your body all the way up. Your arms come up last. Holding that big beach ball over your head. Maybe letting your gaze go up in between your hands. Exhale, come back down. Plank your back leg. Step your left foot to the back of the mat, coming into your high plank or your supported high plank. Choose your weapon. Make sure that butt is nicely at the height of your shoulders and no butts up in the air, no saggy butts. And then from here, we'll all bring our knees down. Bring the chest down in between your hands and bring your chin down. Keeping those hips up nice and high. Coming into this 8-point position. The more space you have between your chest and your knees, the easier this is. So your hips don't have to be super high. Hugging those elbows in tightly. Exhale, slowly lower down your hips by sliding your legs out to the back. Push the tops of the feet into the ground. And with your inhale, coming into a little cobra pose. You can come into baby cobra or swings if that works better for you today. If you feel warm enough, you're more than welcome to come up higher already. Remember, this is your practice. I'm pretty much just giving you suggestions, which I very much enjoy, by the way. And then slowly with your exhale, come back down, tuck your toes under, and then either moving through tabletop or plank, and coming back to your down dog. 3 breaths in your down dog, pushing your heels down, maybe having a little bend in your knees. See if you can rotate your elbows slightly outwards. Inhale, come up high onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees slightly. Step your right foot in between your hands. Bring your left knee down. Release those back toes. Same thing here, keeping the fingertips on the ground. Right knee is above your right ankle. Squeezing those thighs together. Right hip is pushing back. Building that strength, using it to pull your body up. Let those arms come up over your head. Palms are facing inwards. And then maybe with your inhale, letting your gaze go up in between your hands. Exhale, come back down. Tuck your back toes under, plank your back leg, step that left foot to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, raise your arms over your head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, raise your arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Bring that left knee down. Release the toes. Apply your little squeeze of the thighs. Create the strength. Come all the way up with your upper body. Arms come up last. Maybe letting your gaze go up in between your hands. Exhale, bring your hands back down, keeping that left hand on the ground. Lift your right arm up towards the sky, opening up to the right. Make sure that left shoulder doesn't pop out to the front, so gently tug it in. If you want to take it further here, you can tug your back toes under and plank that back leg. If you do so, make sure you remain with that deep bend in your right knee, and that left hip is slightly pulling up, so you're not dumping into that hip. Exhale, come all the way back down wherever you are. Start straightening your front leg, pushing your hips back, lifting that right foot up so you're only pushing that right heel into the mat. Foot is flexed. Use your inhale to lift your chest and head. Exhale, melt down. Maybe have a little bend in your right knee. Inhale, come up. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, up. Exhale, melt. I'm gonna stay here for a few breaths so you can really take your time to melt into that leg, pushing your right hip back gently. That left foot can be tucked under, or you can release your toes. Personal preference. Also depends on your knees. So just play and see what feels better. And then slowly bend that right knee again. Sink deep into your lunge, pushing both hands into the mat. Plank your back leg. Step your right foot to the back of the mat, coming into your plank or your supported plank. Again, choose your weapon here. Spread your shoulders nice and wide. Crown of the head is reaching forward. Exhale, bring your knees, chest, and chin down. So chest comes in between your hands again. Hips stay up high. Back into your 8-point position. Hug those elbows in tightly. If this feels super weird and awkward to you, it's all good. This pose takes some getting used to. Exhale, lower your hips, spread those knees out to the back. Inhale, coming into your back bend, pushing the tops of the feet down. Exhale, back down. Inhale, back up. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Tuck those toes under and make your way into your down dog, taking your journey there. 3 breaths in your down dog. Inhale, come up high onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees slightly, and then step your left foot in between your hands. Bring that right knee down, release the back toes. Start squeezing your thighs together, gently lifting your fingertips off maybe, and then use that strength to come all the way up. Arms come up last. Pinky fingers are pointing forward. And then with your inhale, maybe looking up in between your hands. Remember, if this doesn't feel good for your neck, you don't have to do it. Easy as is. Exhale, back down. Keep that right hand on the ground. And then slowly open up into a twist to the left, bringing that left arm up towards the sky, maybe letting your gaze follow. And then you're welcome to stay here, or you can take it further by planking that back leg. Remember to keep a deep bend in your left knee and to lift up your right hip. So easy to forget. And slowly bring that hand back down. Bring everything back down wherever you are. Start straightening that left leg, pushing your hips back. Coming onto your left heel. You can always adjust your foot here to make it feel better. Left hip is pushing back. Inhale, lift your chest and head. Exhale, melt down. Remember, maybe try out having a little bend in your left knee. It might feel good. Inhale, come up. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale, down. And let yourself melt in here completely. Maybe push that left hip back even further. You can relax your hands onto the mat. Soft bend in your elbows. Let your head hang down heavy. And from here, bend that left knee again. Push your hands into the mat. Plank your back leg. And then step the right foot to the front of the mat. It's okay to take a couple steps here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Raise your arms over your head. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're nice and warm here, so we'll move into a little balancing pose. We'll move into tree pose. I'm gonna face you guys so I don't feel like I'm staring at the wall. And also it's more fun because I get to see you. So let's transition all of your weight onto your left foot. And then you have three options here. You can bring that leg all the way in. Now I'm falling over to your inner thigh. You can bring it down here, right above your ankle. Or you can even have that little kickstand here with those toes down. So the only area you want to avoid is the actual knee. So get ready for wherever you want to be with this today. Maybe play with something that is more challenging or work on mastering where you're at. You want to make sure that that left foot, all four corners are pushing down. So we're really nicely grounding into the mat. When you have your balance, bring your hands to heart center. I'm very much regretting wearing a long sleeve right now because I'm a little bit too warm here. And then maybe letting those arms come up over your head. Keeping your palms together, squeezing your head with your arms. Make sure you stay with your breath here. And then if your hands are over your head, slowly bring them back down. And then see if you can first, no matter where your leg is, release it. And without putting it all the way down, lift it up to the front, keeping it nicely bent at 90 degrees. Flex that right foot so your toes are pointing up. Building some fire in that left leg, I know. Just 2 more breaths here. And with your next exhale, slowly bring it back down. I'm gonna move over to the other side. So this time your right leg is your standing leg. Pick where you want to be. I know it might feel pretty awful on your left leg right now. It's okay. We're going to balance out the terrible feeling to both legs, and that way it will feel less bad. So again, bring your hands to heart center once you find your balance. Be where you want to be with this. Make sure you're pushing all 4 corners of that right foot down. And then maybe letting your arms come up over your head here, keeping your palms together, squeezing your head with your upper arms. Remember, there's no better way to learn than by losing your balance and falling. Or what I like to say, fail your way to success. With your next exhale, bring your hands back to heart center if they are over your head. And then same thing here again. No matter where your leg is, without putting it all the way down, release it. And then let that left leg come up, like a one-legged Tadasana. Nice 90-degree bend in your left knee. Toes are pointing up towards the sky. Still pushing into all 4 corners of that standing leg. See if you can muster a smile here. 2 more breaths. And with your next exhale, make your way back down gracefully or semi-gracefully. I'm gonna come back to the front of the mat. I'm gonna have a quick sip of water. Beautiful. And then with your inhale, raise your arms back up. If you're getting some water, take your time. Exhale, bring those arms back down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Step your right foot to the back of the mat, just for a breath here. And then lift your hips up towards the ceiling, coming into a down dog. Pushing your left heel down, lift your right leg up high towards the sky, pointing your right toes, but make sure that right hip stays level to the ground. And then from here, bring your right leg all the way in between your hands. Again, you can take a couple steps here. Bring that back foot down at an angle about 45 degrees to the left. We're getting ready for warrior one. Push your right hip back. So you're arranging your hips first. And then from here, by squeezing those legs together like we did in the beginning, start lifting your upper body up. Bringing your arms up last. Maybe bringing them over your head. Maybe down to heart center. Yogi's choice here. If you have them at heart center, come into this active prayer pose where your palms are pushing against each other and your elbows are at the height of your hands. Deeply sinking into your right knee. Navel is pulling inwards here. And then from here, we will open up into a warrior two. So I like moving and widening my stance, but you can do you here. What I would like you to pay attention to is to make sure the outer edge of the back foot is parallel to the ground. And then you're sinking deep into your right knee and you're making sure that the right knee is pointing outwards. Those are the two important things. And then let your gaze go to your right index or middle finger. Relax those shoulders down. Sink a little bit deeper. Find your edge here. Inhale, flip your right palm. Exhale, reverse. Bringing your right arm up, left arm towards the back leg. You can even stretch your fingers so they are pointing towards the back of the room. Making sure you're still maintaining that nice stance. And then from here, straighten your front leg, push your hips back, and maybe with your exhale, float down into your triangle pose. Keeping your left hand on your left hip. The right hand can land anywhere between your ankle and your knee. So it really is okay to be up here. You don't have to come all the way down here. And then slowly pushing that left hip back, pushing your left shoulder back, maybe letting your gaze go up towards the sky. And then optional, letting your left arm move up towards the sky as well. All of those are optional. You can change it up. Exhale, slowly come all the way back up. Bend your right knee, coming into a little reverse. Sink deeply into your right knee, and we will move into a little side angle. You can either bring that right elbow to your right thigh with your exhale, or you can bring that right hand to the inside of your right foot. So choose where you want to be. Bring that left hand to your left hip, pushing hips and shoulders back. And then maybe letting your left arm go up towards the sky. Make sure that especially if your hand is on the ground, that you still maintain a deep bend in that right knee. We're aiming for a 90-degree angle. Doesn't have to happen today or tomorrow or next year or in the next 10 years. Just something we're aiming for. And then slowly bring both hands down, frame that right foot, lift your left heel, maybe slide that foot out to the back, and just let your hips melt down towards the ground here. If this is in any way uncomfortable for your left knee, you can always bring your left knee down here. And then pushing both hands into the ground, step the right foot towards the back of the mat. From here, lift your hips coming into your down dog. Push your heels down. Lift your left leg up towards the sky. Right heel is still pushing down. Left toes are pointed. Hip stays level to the ground. Keep pushing your head and chest towards your leg. And then slowly bring that left leg in between your hands. And by leg, I mean foot. Right foot comes down at an angle. Make sure the right hip is facing forward, so slightly pushing forward. And then using that strength in your legs, lift yourself all the way up into your warrior one. Bringing your arms up over your head or down into your active prayer pose. Sinking deep into that left knee. Make sure you're not having that curve with your upper body like a little banana. So you're really tugging your rib cage in, you're pulling your belly button in. And then from here, open up into your warrior two. You can slide out or you can keep the same width of the stance. I turned around as well just so I can still face you while doing the other side. Make sure that left knee is pointing out. Check on your back foot. And then look back towards your left index or middle finger. With your next inhale, flip your left palm. Exhale, reverse. Maybe letting those left fingers move towards the back of the mat. And then straighten that left leg, push your hips back, and using your exhale, flow down into your triangle on this side. Right hand comes to your right hip, pushing shoulder and arm back, maybe letting your gaze go up, maybe letting your right arm go up. Check onto your left shoulder, make sure it's not popping out this way, but gently tug it in. Beautiful. With your next exhale, make your way all the way back up. Bend your left knee, coming into reverse one more time. Bend the left knee deeper. And then we will move with our next exhale into our side angle, choosing your version here, so either on your thigh or down to the inside of your left foot. Make sure you have that nice deep bend in your left knee. Right hand can come to your right hip. Maybe letting your gaze go up. Maybe letting your right arm go up. Modifying and playing with this to adjust it to your body. It's the beautiful thing about yoga. And slowly bring both arms down. Frame that left foot. Lift your right heel, maybe slide it out further to the back if you're going for a deeper stretch. And then just let those hips drop down. You can be on your fingertips here or just push your palms down, whatever feels good. Remember, if this gives you any discomfort in your back knee, bring that right knee down. And then from here, push those hands into the mat. Step your left foot to the back of the mat, coming into one last high plank just for a breath. And with your exhale, bring your knees down. Sit down on your mat. Extend your legs out in front of you, nice and long. Move your butt flesh out to the sides, coming onto your sitting bones only. Push those heels into the mat. And then if you know that forward folds are challenging, you have two options. You can either sit on your pillow or whatever you were using in the beginning, or you can gently bend your knees here. And even if you bend your knees, you can still push those heels down, so you're really not missing out on anything here. Whenever you're ready, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, raise your arms over your head. Exhale, forward fold, getting nice and long. Maybe holding onto your feet, your ankles, your shins, your knees. Wherever you are, see if you can bend your elbows. That way, helping yourself to come down a little bit more. And then from here, slowly slide all the way back up. Bring your hands behind you with your fingers pointing towards your legs. If this is uncomfortable, you can always turn your hands out so your fingers are pointing to the sides. And then slowly bend your knees, bring your feet in slightly. We will move into a reverse tabletop. You're gonna lift your hips up. Try to bring them up as high as you can. Might be a big stretch in your shoulders. Gaze goes to your belly button. Imagine there is a little block in between your knees and you're squeezing the block. So your shins are still facing forward. See if you can lift up a little bit higher, maybe squeezing your glutes here. And then slowly come back down. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. It's a little bound angle pose. Knees are falling out to the sides. And then from here, come onto your forearms. And then all the way down onto your back. Bringing your hands onto your belly. Maybe bringing your opposite thumbs and opposite index fingers together to make that little somewhat triangle. I feel like it's a card game shape, but I can't think of the name. Anyway, you're putting that onto your belly with the belly button in the middle. If you have any discomfort in your lower back here, see if you can release it by just breathing into it. If that doesn't happen, you're more than welcome to bend your knees, put your feet on the actual ground, and let your knees fall inwards. See if you can start breathing into your belly. And we will actually finish here. You can stay here for your Shavasana. You're also more than welcome to extend your legs out once you feel that you've had enough of this and move into a classic Shavasana. But if this feels good for you, feel free to stay here with those feet bent. Like bent. And if your eyes are not closed yet, let those eyelids come down gently. Relaxing your shoulders down into the mat. Deepening your breathing. Enjoying the next few moments of quiet and stillness. rest with yourself and your body and your mind. And then slowly start wiggling your fingers and your toes. Let the movement spread out into your arms and your legs. Bring your legs together. Bring your arms over your head on the ground, giving yourself a big, big stretch. Like you just woke up. And then bring your knees into your chest. Hug them in tightly with your arms, giving yourself a big, loving squeeze. And then let go of your knees and slowly roll onto your right side. Letting your head rest on your right hand or your right arm. Left hand is just there to support you. Pulling your knees in towards your body, in towards your arms or your belly. And then with your eyes still closed, make your way back into a seated position. All going to arrive here to close practice together. So bringing your hands back to heart center. Feel your thumbs on your sternum, your heart space. Feel the warmth of your body and your heartbeat. Bring your thumbs up towards your third eye. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be kind. Namaste. Thanks for joining me today on this rainy Monday. I hope you had a good